What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Realistic Crib, and this is episode number 49. We are smashing through this back end of our third season as Nottingham Forest manager. In the last episode, we secured our place at Wembley for the Carabao Cup final. We will face Arsenal. That will come in next episode, which will be episode 50. It will be a special long episode where you'll see extended highlights of the cup final and then a few extra games as well. But before then, we have episode 49 to bring you. And our first game is Burnley, the Clarets away. Vincent Kompany side currently sat at 17th at the moment, 5 points ahead of Villa, so they're not looking over their shoulders just yet, but it looks like that last relegation spot is the one that's going to be battled for. West Brom and Brighton look like they're already down, even though we're only in February. Those two teams have one win between them, which is just absolutely insane. Villa and Burnley, though, separated by 5 points. So Villa are the side we obviously drew with 3-3 in the last game of last episode, having been 3-1 up and a man up. We dropped 2 points. Very disappointing, but we still look at the positives. We secured a spot in the Carabao Cup final, and we've only lost one of our last 13 games, and we've won 9 of them as well. So we're looking very strong into this crucial part of the season where we've had such an awful start. We are definitely playing a chasing game, but I think it's a game that we're doing well at. We're still in 13th in the league, but we are looking to push into at least the top half, but I do want to try and secure some European football. Heading into this game, we have good memories here. We beat Burnley in this stadium 6-0 last season. Brennan Johnson scored a hat-trick. Well, Alexander Isak would be on course to match that hat-trick. He has 2 goals in just the first 20 minutes of the game, 2 nice finishes as well. Dean Henderson would make a class save, actually, 25 minutes in. A really, really nice save from Benson, who thought that he had half the deficit. Muric in goal would deny Lopez making it 3-0, and then Nico Williams with his second chance of the game. Second chance going just wide at that far post. He seemed to beat 3 men in the air somehow, and the header goes just wide. But I was feeling myself this game. I felt very good. We were on good form, and I was feeling that for sure. And 40 minutes in, Taiwo Awoniyi with a lovely ball over the top to Isak, and the striker would get his second hat-trick in 2 away games. And that's our third hat-trick in 3 games. Isak scored a hat-trick away at Palace in last episode, and then Awoniyi scored a hat-trick against Villa in our last game. Isak now has a hat-trick in this game, and that's 6 goals in 2 games for the Swede. 7 goals in 4 games, and he is red hot right now. After that little injury, he is finding form, which is really nice to see. That's his 9th, 10th and 11th league goals of the season in just 15 games. Don't forget he missed 2 months as well, so he hasn't played 25 games like most people. He has only played 15, so 11 and 15 is a very good return. He almost made it 12 as well. Muric came up with a big save. At half-time, we made 3 changes. Awoniyi, Isak and Yates all came off. We have a big game coming up, Lazio in the Champions League in midweek. So us being 3-0 up, I felt like the game was won. I wanted my key players fit for that game. Brennan Johnson, one of those half-time substitutes, had a really good chance to make it 4, but his shot went wide, and then Burnley would get their goal. We are denied the clean sheet. A really nice finish, actually. A really, really composed finish into the corner. Brereton Diaz, another one of the half-time substitutes, had another chance to get our 4th goal of the game. His shot was saved. And then Burnley, with 20 minutes to go, would press again. Brownhill into Xhaka, and the former Arsenal man has made it 3-2. And then all of a sudden, this game's interesting. We're not going to bottle a 3-0 lead, are we? We drew the last game 3-3 after being 3-1 up. We're not going to draw 3-0 after being 3-0 up, are we? Surely not against another relegation side. Well, no, we're not. Brereton Diaz does get his goal. This guy, I absolutely love him. He is such a good backup striker, a fill-in striker. He is fantastic. He makes it 4-2. He restores our 2-goal lead, and that would be the game. 4-2 victory. We made a mess of it towards the end. Obviously, very annoying. Wanted to keep the clean sheet. But all that matters at this point of the season is winning the games. And we do that 4-2 over the Vincent Kompany side. Isak picks up his second match ball in a couple of weeks. Second hat-trick, 11 goals in 15 in the league. Very good return from the Swede. He is on fire right now. Brereton Diaz bagging our 4th And that would be 3 points that would help us push towards the top half of the table. We are now 10 wins from the last 14 games, 1 loss in that time as well. Hot in form. So we look at the table, we are 12th, closing in that top half. Honestly, I think the aim is maybe like 7th. If we can get like a 7th, we can get some European football. Obviously, if we win the Carabao Cup, I think we get European football as well, so that will be huge for us. As we look at the Champions League draw, the Champions League does return after what feels like an age. We face Lazio in the round of 16. They came second in a really tight group, actually. Sporting Lisbon, Lazio, Liverpool and Salzburg. All 4 of them separated by just 3 points. Lazio finished second, relegating Liverpool to the Europa League. So they got through a difficult group. In their domestic league, in Serie A, they are 9th at the moment. So struggling like us, reached the Champions League last season, but struggling to do it again this season like us. They have a pretty strong side as well. Pervis Estupinian, obviously the Brighton fullback, is there. Roman Perot, who we just sold to the side, and Vet Romagnoli as well is the captain. Their midfield consists of, well, this absolute superstar, Pablo Gavi, the former Barcelona centre mid, just 20 years old, 83 rated. He is a class act. Somehow Barcelona let him go, and now he is at Lazio. They've also got former Southampton player Nathan Redmond as well. Gonzalo Guedes is up top. He leads their strike force, the former Wolves striker, who I'm pretty sure definitely scored against us, I think, in season 1 away at Wolves. Guedes, I think, might have bagged a brace, if I can remember correctly. Anyway, he's at Lazio now, and that is the side we will face. I wonder if Roman Perot will play for Lazio against us. Technically, I think if this was super realistic, he wouldn't be able to get into the squad unless I think they took out a player from the squad. So potentially, I don't think he actually played for us in the Champions League this season, Perot. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he did. Anyway, going into this game, it looks like we're going to miss out on a Champions League spot. For us to finish in the top 4 this season, it will be an absolute miracle. So the only way realistically that we're going to secure Champions League football, I'll say it quietly, is to win the Champions League. We're going to have to try and win the Champions League, and don't put it past us. You know, we've been in incredible form in this competition. Yes, we've struggled in the league. In our group stage, we faced Juventus, Bayer Leverkusen and Victoria Pilsen, and we won 5 of those 6 games. We finished that group top, undefeated. We did the doubles over Leverkusen and Juventus, so we have not lost a game in this year's competition. We are looking to make it 6 wins from 7. This would not be an easy task, but I definitely fancied our chances. There's just something about this competition, you know, it's something special. You look at that Nottingham Forest badge, they've got 2 stars over it. That was the aim of this save, of this career mode, was to get a 3rd star on top of that badge. I wish they would do that as well, by the way. I wish they would add a star if we won the Champions League to the next season's kit. That would be super cool. Anyway, we make a couple of changes to the side that started against Burnley. Hummels and Soufal come in, and it would be the perfect start for the visitors. 8 minutes in, Isak's shot is saved, but who's there? Taiwo Awoniyi. 2nd goal of the Champions League campaign. Would have thought he'd scored more by now, but it doesn't matter. He gets the opening goal of this knockout game. However, 15 minutes in, Lazio, with their first attack of the game, they have a corner, they go short, pass it around, and that man Gavi, we touched on it before the game, he will be a star, a player that we need to look out for. And after a little ball roll, he finesses a lovely shot, posting in off his weak foot, and Lazio are level. Our lead in this tie did not last long. And then just a couple minutes later, Sotil looked to turn it around for the hosts, but Dean Henderson comes up with a massive save. 26 minutes in, we were pressed in again. The game was pretty open, quite a lot of chances, and Awoniyi would get his 2nd and our 2nd of the game. Keepers normally collect those crosses. The Lazio keeper was hesitant, Maximiano, and Awoniyi would capitalise and head home his 3rd goal of the competition. And then just on the stroke of half-time, a cross comes in, it gets cleared out. Renan Lodi chests it down. The Brazilian drives through the Lazio defence and gives us a 3-1 lead at half-time. We're in dreamland. He jumps over the boards and celebrates. I love this shot. You actually see the Forest fans in the background there. They were down the other side, but love this. We are taking the Champions League by storm. Yes, we might be 12th or 13th in the Premier League, but we are here to stay in the Champions League. I'm well up for this competition. Renan Lodi with his second goal for Forest in his return, his second goal in as many episodes. And we lead 3-1 at half time. That is a very big lead to take into the break. With half an hour to go, Awoniyi would test the keeper, push in for his hat-trick. And then with 15 minutes to go, we made a couple of substitutions. Talisca and Bella Kotchap coming on for Niakate and Awoniyi. And then 9 minutes to go, Isak is given the chance to kill this tie off. And my God, does he. Top bins from Isak, who is on absolute fire right now. 8 goals in his last 5 games since returning from injury. And look at this. Oof. Could you get more postage stamp? I don't think so. Beautiful finish from the Swede. And we lead 4-1 in this tie. Could we wrap up this tie in the first game? We make a couple of more subs to give some players some rest before we play again. Obviously, we have that huge game. Just 4 days later, we have the Carabao Cup final. So I wanted to keep some players fit for that game. And then deep into injury time, a beautiful ball over the top to Renan Lodi, who collects his second assist to go along with his goal. A great game from the Brazilian fullback. And he finds his national teammate, Anderson Talisca, who puts the ball into an empty net. And the final whistle goes. Lazio 1, Nottingham Forest 5. That's right. We have just battered Lazio in their home ground 5-1. And obviously I don't want to take anything for granted, but I might be able to rest some players now in that second leg, because obviously we are on a hunt in the league to try and gain as many points as possible after a poor start. I think now we can potentially rest our players in that second leg. Not fully, but, you know, make some changes for sure. Anyway, we are looking good for the Champions League quarterfinals, which is where the board wanted us to make it, by the way. That is one of their objectives. Very important that we reach that. But as you see there, the next game you'll see in this series will be episode 50, and it will be the Carabao Cup final. Our second chance in the save for silverware. Can we do it this time? Well, tune into episode 50, the special episode. Make sure you drop it a like if you're enjoying this series and you're excited for episode 50. And of course, drop a sub on the channel as well. We're on our way to 250. But that'll be it for today's episode. Thanks so much, guys. Enjoy your days, and I'll catch you very soon.